one thing about that temple, the temple shots, the temple is always available, and Usyk is a praying man, so he's gonna be there. As he's worried about that left hand, Usyk is loading up on his right, and it comes over top, and this time he lands more above the ear around the temple. Usyk once again just solidifying his greatness with the finish that was just great, and we're going to get there. We're going to talk science, but before we do, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I'm going to put emphasis on that because the algorithm will play weird games, and notification bell on so we can probably talk about Manny Pacquiao tonight, hopefully good things, and some UFC and various other things very soon. Now let's talk science, especially about exchanges, because that's how this fight ends, and we're going to get straight into it. So classic Usyk, lead hand out. It's bedazzling, it's distracting, and it's measuring, right? So it's a lot of stuff that lead hand is doing. And you see Dubois was moving, he stopped because he was so focused on what that lead hand might turn into. It might turn into a hook over top. It might turn into a powerful jab. That lead hand has been catching him. And so he kind of freezes in place. As he does that, Usyk is keeping that lead hand out there, and he steps in while he's working with that lead hand and blasts him with that backhand hook. And if you want to know why Dubois was so focused on the lead hand, it's because that's just as much of a threat as the backhand. That's why he's trying to circle away from the left hand, and he ran into a powerful jab over top. Then we start to see two big differences in how they handle exchanges. There's a third one that we'll talk about soon. Two keys for Usyk is that he's going to be more defensively responsible in these exchanges. You see him tighten up that guard, and he's going to be using his feet to control range. You see him step back. And so when he's throwing punches, he's more defensively responsible, and he's changing position with his feet, whereas Dubois is going to be more stationary and less responsible. Dubois is trying to defend himself, and so he reverses the pressure. He gets Usyk backing up, but Usyk is comfortable backing up because if you watch the previous rounds, Usyk was walking him into shots, right? He was countering off the back foot. So Dubois uses a single jab, and then he doubles it up a little bit just to try and set up this right hand. Again, Usyk isn't stationary. He's moving backwards and out of the way. Now, Dubois does partially slip that right hand through, but since Usyk pulled back, it didn't land super clean. At the same time, Usyk is trying to counter with his own right hook. The other thing about this right hook off the back foot is that you see it lands right on the ear, which is a good spot, but we'll note the difference in what's about to happen in a couple of seconds. Now, Usyk got touched by that right hand. As soon as he's not only level changing, meaning he's getting lower, like relative to Dubois' body, he's also going to use his feet to circle out into a different position. And now Dubois is trying to react to that position change. And look, Usyk is completely out of the way because he shifted position, but he's in position to try and throw his left hand. Dubois reacts and get his shoulder up just in time. But as he's worried about that left hand, Usyk is loading up on his right, and it comes over top. And this time he lands more above the ear around the temple. Very accurate shot. So it's a mix of precision, placement, timing, angles, all together in that short period of time. Usyk is going to step in with the right hook. As he does, not only is he moving his feet, he's reacting, getting underneath the left hook proactively so he doesn't have to react. As soon as they reset, Usyk is going to do what he always does. Lead hand, measuring, threatening, setting up, and it's the same situation. He tries to throw the left hand. Dubois is more so expecting that, because that's normally what happens when Usyk is playing with the lead hand. So he kind of pulls out of the way. It doesn't land super clean, but he's also loading up on a big counter. But again, he's stationary. His arms are down. There's no guard. So he's a sitting duck, basically. Usyk, on the other hand, is not only countering with his own right hook, which doesn't land super clean. It might partially graze him, but he's also jumping back. It's hard to see in that moment. If you pay attention to Usyk's feet, he jumps back just enough to make that right hand miss. Dubois threw the right hand so hard that he overextended. He's out of position. Usyk goes back into position and catches him. So in that short time span, when he throws the left, he jumps back just enough while throwing the right hook. Dubois misses the big right overhand because he stepped back, and then he steps back in and catches him and finishes the fight. Let's talk about this a little bit more. Like I said, it's part analysis, part discussion. Alexander Usyk is always fighting bigger, stronger, more powerful men with more knockouts, but he ends up hurting them, particularly the British ones. Accuracy, timing, and precision, they're king above all else, especially at heavyweight, because if you're a larger man, you just got to land at the right spots at the right time, and that's all you need. You don't need to be a Dubois or AJ in order to knock people out. Obviously, look at the results. Everyone always focuses on the adjustments that are made by the loser, in this case Dubois or Fury or AJ. And uh, and hey, they have a lot more adjustments to make, so it makes sense in that aspect. But Usyk is the smarter fighter in each and every single one of those cases, and so I think people underestimate the other side of things about what adjustments he will make. Now, I think Dubois actually made some good adjustments. I think he was he was better with his jab. I think that right hand was, he focused more on the speed and the straightness of it. I think that was a good adjustment as well. But it's hard to be someone that's good. Obviously, that's why he's Usyk. Now, one thing about that temple, the temple shots, the temple is always available, and Usyk is a praying man, so he's gonna be there. Like he prays before the fight, after the fight, during the fight. So yeah, he's gonna catch you at the temple, and he's done that to a few people, but that's how he dropped Dubois in that first exchange. And a couple final thoughts. I think Great Britain, the United Kingdom, needs to ban Usyk from their country. They need to like call their ICE agents and just deport him, because every time he steps on their soil and fights their fighters, he just cleaning everybody up. Yeah, they need to put tariffs on him or something. I don't know. That's a real American way to solve problems, and that's all jokes, by the way. But man, Usyk is that guy. Usyk is that guy. That's all the science for now. Because we do got some stuff coming later tonight. Hopefully Manny Pacquiao do not get beat up. That's what we hope for, and some UFC potentially. I'm out.